Okay, so now that almost everything's done with the engine, all we really have to worry about or work with right now is just all the electrical connections. There's a lot of them all over the place, so that's primarily the only thing. Electrical connections and some hoses. There's these hoses that go to the heater core, there's some fuel hoses, there's some vacuum hoses all over the place. But other than that, all that's left to do is to undo all the wiring, undo all the hoses. Before I forget, we also have the clutch to remove. It's just held on by 2 bolts right here. And then if we trace the wire back, there's one more bolt right here holding the hose in. You don't really need to remove this, you can just undo this pin, but I'm going to actually remove the bolt. So I can just remove this whole thing. Okay, so with my 12mm socket, I'm going to quickly undo all 3 of these bolts. This one, and then this one. Right here, if you look right there's just some screw kind of thing, like bottle cap kind of thing. This is our speedometer connector, and right down here we have 2 more connectors. These are for the clutch. For these ones, I'm probably going to pull the pins out right here and disconnect. There's some weird clip things, one on this side and one on the right there. 2 clips. Pull the clips out, and then I'm going to pull the pins out. I'm going to unscrew this to get the speedometer loose, and then we'll keep going. Okay, so I couldn't get the clips out, and I decided to unscrew it. There are 3 bolts that are holding the wires in for the clutch. There is one right there, one that I had screwed up there, and a third one right there that I also unscrewed. You can see a little line from it. So I'm going to unscrew the third one, and then we'll go up top and I can pull off the wires that control the clutch. Okay, so up top I'm going to use my 12mm wrench to undo the throttle cable up here. I'm just going to undo this nut real lightly, just so I can pull it out through the top, like so, and I can just pull out the cable from there. And now I have the throttle cable loose. Okay, so starting from the front, we have right here, very simple connector. This goes to the distributor. It's held in by a clip right there. You just push on it and it should pop right off. Next, you have this connector right here. It has something to do with I'm pretty sure it's the water temperature. That one should, if I remember, there also has to be a clip somewhere on it, but you just pull it off. There's a clip right here on the back side of it. Then there's another connector right here, which is just a pull-off type, I think. Pull it off, and that's done. Okay, so again, for the electrical connector, there's a ground connector right here, screwed on. It's going to be a 14mm socket. So working our way back, we got most of it loose. There's one white connector right here. It's just a push tab. I'm going to squeeze it. Okay, so tracing the electrical farther back, there's 2 connectors right here. I'm going to leave these on because if you look at it, they do not connect directly to the engine. They're separate by themselves, so I'm going to leave those off for now. I'm not going to touch those. I'm going to go to the other side, and we're going to start working on the electrical connections on that side. Okay, so working our way back, we have a 12mm ground right here. I'm going to quickly take that off. Okay, now that I got that off, we're looking up a little bit. There's another connector right here. I think it's a push tab. You just push it in and pull up, and that's gone. There's a connector that goes right here, but I'm pretty sure I think that's not going to get in the way, so I'm just going to leave that on for now. If we keep working our way back to the car, there are a couple more connectors right there. You can see there's this one that several wires go to, green connector. There's this black connector down there, and then there's a red one. I'm going to go on the other side for those. Okay, so the 3 connectors I was talking about, the green one right here, there's a black one right here, and then there's a red one right back in there. You can make up the red tip right there. I think these are all just push-in connectors. You just push it in and pull it out. Okay, so a quick correction. Black one, you pull up. Black one's the pull-up tab. The green one, it connects to a gray connector right here, which is a push-down. And the red one, it's also a push down and pull. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's all the connectors except for the ones that I purposely skipped. Right now what we're going to do is remove all the hoses. We're going to start from the driver's side and work our way to the passenger side. Okay, so you can't really make it out because the sun went away, but there is a wire. You can see that there's a wire going right there, that black wire. A 12mm nut, you can see the nut sticking out. So I believe the black and yellow connector is a push, you push and pull, and the 12mm you just unscrew. So I'm going to take that off, and that'll take care of the starter. Okay, so right off the bat we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hoses. So what we're going to start off by first removing, doesn't really matter which one. I'm going to start from this one up here and do all these right here. Okay, so right up here we also have this one little T connector. I'm just going to undo the bottom one, and that should take care of that. I'm going to go to the other side and see what else we have. Okay, so on the other side, here's what we have. I see this hose right here that I'm going to need to for sure undo. There are 2 hoses right here, 2 vacuum lines. They go back up there. I'm going to remove one of them from here, and then I'm going to remove the opposite one from the carburetor. Whichever one comes off easier, I guess that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to unclip this and remove, actually I'm going to do it right now, remove that out of the way. Okay, all that we have left to do is just to unplug the oxygen sensor, and we are basically done. We don't have to worry about any of this anymore.